Hey everyone, today I wanted to share with you some features of Dynamics 365 Sales or CRM and the AI capabilities that are available from D365. The first thing I wanted to show you is the ability to do AI highlights. So what happens often is you're having a lot of sales conversations, you have a lot of email back and forth with people, you're creating quotes, all different kinds of things going on with an account. And you work with a lot of different customers. So it would be nice to be able to get a quick kind of summary of what's going on. So you see there's AI highlights in the timeline here. And what that is it's reading through, okay, we created a quote, created a note, we've got a task assigned to myself, and there's a bunch of emails back and forth with this customer. And what it does is it allows you to come into this record very quickly, look at the activity timeline, and see a highlight, AI highlight, which is basically creating a summary. Created a quote for this product. It gives a little background of what that email conversation was about and why that product's a good fit. And then finally, what are the next steps with this customer? So it allows you to read through a bunch of information very quickly and get to the point of what you need to do next with the customer. The next thing that's available through AI in D365 is the always present Sales Copilot. So when you're looking at the screen on any record, you'll have this icon in the top right-hand corner that allows you to open Copilot, and you'll see there's a series of kind of typical prompts. So you can hit the get info prompt, and it's going to get latest news about this account. In this case, it's kind of sharing a bunch of information about Serene Holdings. So if I'm going to make a phone call or Serene Horizon, so that you can get background information about this company before you make the call. You could also put in a prompt of like, is the next step with Serene Horizon? But you have this Sales Copilot always available with a bunch of different pre-built prompts that you can use. Also, you can just ask it regular language, and for whatever reason, now it's saying the next step is follow up on quotes, so you know very easily. So you've got the ability to ask questions of your database through Copilot. The final AI tool that I wanted to share with you for Dynamics CRM is actually coming from their Sales Premium license. So this is a little bit higher of a capability. You need a bit of a more premium subscription from Dynamics, but it brings a lot of value here. So what you see here is called the Sales Research Agent, and it's your ability to kind of do research and build AI reporting around different scenarios that you want to understand. So you see review current pipeline, research opportunities for growth, review funnel attrition as some suggested topics. What I'm going to do is say something like, give me a summary of the last 3 months of leads. And then it's going to do what it does. Then it's going to create a visualization of this. And I'm going to pause you here so you see from that prompt, we get a whole bunch of reports, summary information. So what you see here at the top is all the leads created in the last 30 days. And then lead source distribution. So it created some reports. Lead quality, they're all warm, but if they were kind of a distribution, it'd be warm, cold, hot. And then also you've got just like a little narrative about kind of the leads in the last 30 days and what they can tell you about them. So pretty cool. This tool is more about, as it sounds, more about understanding your data and getting deeper into it, and then also creating visualizations that make it really easy to consume that kind of set understanding of the information. And the final thing I wanted to show was more a feature of Outlook and its interaction with Dynamics 365. So the new way to integrate Dynamics 365 and Outlook is through the Copilot Sales extension. And what that does is gives you kind of like a side pane within Outlook that reads into your Dynamics data So you've got, in this case, this contact is not in Dynamics, so it's recognizing that and saying, do you want to add a contact? But also it gives you the added capabilities of AI email creation. So what it's first doing for you is giving you a quick summary of what's in the email. So it's reading the email and spitting back a little summary of what it is. And then if I want to draft an email, I can say, reply sharing our capabilities in integration, and that this is a good fit. So I'm going to create a draft email from that, and this Copilot is going to create kind of a starting message for you, so you can quickly, instead of having to create the whole message, for you, you can grab this, copy the content, and then reply here, and then just drop this information directly into the email and send it. Makes the process of getting back to people easier. I could edit this email a little bit if I would want to, and then send that email directly from here. So I think there's some pretty cool functionality here.